Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your man, Soular Amor, getting ready for bed. And I had some thoughts that I thought I'd share real quick. And, the thing about, I heard the saying this one time. The saying goes, what a person does behind closed doors when they're alone can really define if that person is just a beast or a god. And that stuck with me a lot of the time. And that term integrity is what you do when nobody's looking. And so when I think about life, when I think about things, when I think about my day, when I think about myself, I realize that insecurity, right? Insecurity can come from not really believing in yourself, not really knowing yourself because you're not being yourself. External validation is needing to always be around people and to get confirmation from other people that what you're doing, what you're thinking, how you're living, who you are is okay by societal's norms or theirs norms, whatever it is. Whereas internal validation, this is a tricky one because internal validation, you can't lie to yourself. You know what you could be doing better, different. You know what you'd like to do versus what you may actually be doing. When you hear that voice in your head, you're the only one who knows what it said. And you're the only one who can determine whether you're doing what that voice is telling you to do or not. So internal validation is a tricky one because there's no way around it. You know. It doesn't matter what they know. It doesn't matter what they think. You know. So, yeah, if you're not working on yourself, if you don't care to grow and evolve mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, then yeah, I can see why external validation would be a go-to because you can't get it from yourself because you don't have any reasons. It's as simple as being able to look at your past mistakes. It's as simple as being able to look at where you've grown from and what you've grown into. It's as simple as that to give yourself that internal validation, to acknowledge your growth, to acknowledge your own growth, to acknowledge your mistakes and to learn from your mistakes, to consciously be striving to be better, whether you're hitting the mark or not, you're trying. You don't go to the gym and leave the gym buff. It's consistency, it's over time. So this internal validation, self-esteem, is going to get rid of insecurities. Because no matter what they say, you know you're doing the best for yourself. You know that you love yourself. You know that you're giving it all to yourself. I don't need to go into a tangent on spirituality. I don't need to go into a tangent about religion or what God is or what the universe is. These are simple things that we all understand. We just may not want to look at or face the mirror because maybe we're not doing or being who we know we could be. But who are you waiting to get permission from to start being that person? Who do you need permission from to grow? Me? Somebody else? Well, here, let me give you some external permission. You're allowed to grow. You're allowed to be your best self. You can do it. You can accomplish all your dreams. You can accomplish all your goals. It doesn't matter what they said. It doesn't matter who left you. And it doesn't matter who stayed. You got you every single day. And that's something worthy of praise. Seriously. Seriously. I don't care what your dreams are. I don't care what your visions are, your goals are. You can do them. But if you never take that first step, you will never get anywhere. It's divine timing is a mixture between the timing of allowing things to happen and the presence of divinity. Divinity is to be godlike. God is a creative force. It is existence itself. Okay? So you have nothingness, which is just absolutely nothing. And then you have everything else outside of nothing, which is infinite possibilities. And all will be created if it can be created. You are a creator. And without going into the terms, without me, I'm really trying to scale back from being arcane and occult in this instance, just to deliver this simple message that confidence, self-esteem comes from practice. It's those small things, like going to bed on time, getting up on time. It's those small things, like stretching at night, stretching when you wake up, prioritizing yourself, prioritizing your health, prioritizing your well-being before the distractions, before other interactions. There are things that you can do for yourself to improve, even if it's just a fraction. This tattoo is Sukuna, and it comes from a show called Jujutsu Kaisen. Jujutsu Kaisen is the practice and the art of growing 1% every day, striving towards perfection. Whether you get there or not, you're striving towards it. You're going in that direction. So even if you grow 1% every day, at least you took a step. 1% every day in a year is 365%. Just a third of that is 100%. So if you're not even taking the actions to be proactive as a creator, rather than just being a consumer, then you're just dealing with timing. But when you start becoming a creator, when you start interacting with your reality, interacting with yourself, you have stepped into divinity. You are now consciously creating. And then the timing kicks in, and this is called divine timing. It has a lot to do with this term they use called alignment. Align your chakras, right? Align yourself, open up your energies, connect with the universe, connect with the Most High, connect with yourself. Build that connection with yourself and act on that connection, and it's beautiful. You won't regret it. You won't regret working on yourself. You won't regret taking care of your hygiene. You won't regret taking care of your physical fitness. You won't regret meditating, controlling your emotions, becoming emotionally intelligent. You won't regret that. You won't regret learning how to be okay being alone. All of the mistakes that you've had, all the mistakes that you've made, all the traumas and hurts and pains, they were meant for you to turn them into gains. Look at it that way. Be grateful for every situation and scenario in your life. And I promise you, you'll start to see change in that instant of gratitude. I am grateful for all of the pains that I made it through, because they only made me stronger. They only made me wiser. And the wiser I become, the more valuable I become. I'm not broken. And then with times where I felt broken, I repaired myself with gold, truth, and love. And I became more valuable than I was before. I'm an art piece. You are a masterpiece. Love yourself and be yourself authentically. The world needs it, and we can't get it in any other way. The world will never know. Think about mortality. Think about if you only had a year to live, if you only had a week to live, if you only had a day to live, if this was your last day, what would you do? You don't want to be that person at the end of their time thinking about all the things that they could have did but didn't do. Take the risk. The biggest risk, the worst risk to take is to take no risk at all. It's to do nothing. It's to be stagnant. It's to be okay with whatever they gave you, with whatever you have now. Yes, be grateful for it, but be divine. Create with it. Add value to your life. Add value to your reality. You have that capability. You are beautiful. You are amazing. You are valuable. See it in yourself first, and it will start to radiate. It will start to shine. The one thing that you cannot hide or you cannot fake is actual growth, actual development. When you look at somebody, you can see how much they take care of themselves. You can see what it is that they do or don't do for themselves. And when they open their mouth, what comes out of their mouth tells you a lot about their frequency rather than what they might say, how they are. I'm a great person. I'm a nice person. I'm this, I'm that, I'm this. It doesn't matter. Your energy is going to tell us. How you treat yourself. I pay attention to how people treat each other. I pay attention to how people talk about other people, because they're not telling me about other people. They're telling me about themselves. They're telling me about the units they use to judge themselves and life and the lens that they look at life through. This is why I don't gossip, and this is why I don't like gossip. Because what is telling me or telling somebody else about another person's life gonna do to get me to look at you as a better person? Some people think it works that way. Let me bring this person down so I look like I'm up here. Nah, you're just telling us that you're stuck at a certain level that's lacking love and understanding and care and compassion. And if you can talk about them that way, you can probably talk about me that way. So, I say all that just to say this. Grow and develop your emotional intelligence. Grow and develop your love for yourself, your image, your identity. Destroy false identities and refine your authentic self and fall in love with your true identity. Whoever that you are, without a name, without a title, the I am that you are. Build a connection with that. That will radiate light into your reality, and that will change your life. How to beat insecurity. How to gain self-validation. How to no longer be codependent. How to no longer need external validation. Become your own muse. Inspire yourself. Every day, you look at yourself and knowing what you could be versus what you're being. And then value who you are today and grow from there. 1% growth every day. 1%. Stagnation is the closest thing to death that there really is. If you was going to die tomorrow and you did nothing today, what would it matter? Because if you to die tomorrow and you had accomplished all your dreams in that one day, there's so much more value to that. You added substance, you added something to the world, you added something to yourself. And even if it's just for yourself, the soul is eternal. The soul is eternal. It was here before you, will be here after this physical existence. Believe it or not. Believe it or not. And let's say that's not the case. Don't you deserve to live in your best self today? Doesn't the tomorrow you, if you make it to tomorrow, doesn't that deserve the best possible chance? You got to give yourself that chance. Don't expect it to come from anything else. Give it to yourself. You have that capability. There are things that you can do that require no price tag and no other person. Just inner reflection and awareness. Awareness, becoming aware of yourself, aware of life, asking the right questions will build your wisdom, will build your intelligence. You don't need to know all the facts of everything. But becoming aware will start to bring in the truth. When you choose to not be aware, or when you choose to not care, ignorant, the truth flees from you. You hide from it. With all that being said, it's your man Soular Amor. I love you. Love myself. Go ahead and check out my music. My music will always help align you. My music is very empowering music. You can just click on the releases. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can go look up my name anywhere, Soular Amor. And feel free to book a reading with me. Learn your astrology. Learn your purpose objectively. Learn your correlation to the stars and to the heavens. Learn yourself in every possible way, in every possible dimension. Understand yourself in all dimensions, all perspectives. A dimension is a different way of looking at the same thing. Understand yourself in every way. All right? You deserve that. Nobody else needs to do that for you. That's for you to do for yourself. All right? That's what I do for myself every day. I'm speaking from experience. I'm speaking from wisdom. I'm telling you this because this is what has changed me, and this is what has filled my soul. And this is what has brought me a extreme sense of satisfaction with every single day that I live. when I get to reflect on myself and be like, bro, you did 5%, you did 1%, you did 30%, you did 100% today, bro. And I get to look at myself like that, and I get to give myself validation when no one else is around. And when other people are around, guess what? Nine times out of 10, they don't even see my growth. They don't even see me because it's not for them to see that. And sometimes they will, sometimes they won't, but they won't see it or feel it the way that I will. Give that to yourself. And this is for everyone. Give to yourself and let that cup overflow. Give it to yourself and build up that fire and shine that light. It'll get bright as long as you're doing the work right. Okay? Hold it down, but keep it up. Peace.